And we're back. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I've actually seen an episode, so I just went back and refreshed my memory on what happened on episode 5. Last time we had Ed encounter Scar. We had a bit of an introduction to the Ishvalan War, which was really, really dark and quite messed up. Not a direction I was expecting us to go, at least not this early in. We also had a light introduction to the villain called Envy, shapeshifted into Cornello and gave a speech to the audience. So apparently they're trying to incite civil war and manipulate people, as villains do. And during the fight with Scar, Ed's arm got destroyed, so they're going back to visit WInry, I believe, because WInry needs to get him a new arm. Looking forward to getting back into it. If you're interested, you can go watch episodes 7 and 8 right now on my Patreon. The Soul tier has episode 7 available right now, and the Ascended tier has episode 8 available as well. I truly do appreciate the people that are supporting me on Patreon. It really encourages me to do these episodes every week for you guys. The Patreon also gets the extended cut of the reaction, which is about twice the length of the one here on YouTube, and you also get it early. So in my opinion, it's definitely worth it if you guys want to support me. Without further ado, let's get into episode 6, Road of Hope. A much better, more positive title than the previous ones. Also, I've read your comments. There is a post-credit scene on this one. I know that. I will not skip it. I got you. Hell yeah. Dude, that's such a good OP. I like it more and more every time.
Ed was able to escape with his life.
I hope we get to see Roy fight soon.
The joy of being alive,
Roy seems like a badass, and everyone in the comments really likes Roy, so.
They decided to return to their home.
I haven't gotten the reason for why yet. I haven't gotten anything to really give me a reason to love him yet, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Episode 6, Road of Hope.
What would happen if Scar came after you again? You're in no shape for a fight now, Ed.
That's true.
The Major's here to help. Just try to
I wonder if you have to have 2 hands to actually do the alchemy.
Shut up, I'm no child! Anyway, are you sure Al made it on board?
Of course.
With the animals. Poor Al. This is setting up for like a more positive episode, like the title and everything. I'm just waiting. Every episode is taking a dark twist, like every single one so far. Especially like 2, 4, and 5.
Dr. Marcoh!
Ooh.
Dr. Marcoh, that is you, isn't it? It's me, Alex Louis Armstrong.
Oh no. He's scared of him.
Excuse me, but do you know who this person is by any chance?
Oh, Major, you can really draw.
The art of portraiture has been passed down through the Armstrong family for
He's a man of many
generations.
talents.
That man looks like Dr. Morrow to me.
Morrow?
All of our town's doctors were drafted to help on the battlefields during the Civil War. Then Dr. Morrow came here. He's really been a lifesaver.
He'll see any patient and he never gives up on anybody. We're lucky he's here.
You see this big bright flash of light and then you're cured just like that.
Oh, he's using alchemy to cure people.
This is it.
I'm kind of confused. I don't know if I've gotten the clarification, but I guess most people generally don't know about alchemy. Also, Jesus, man, relax.
Please, doctor, calm down.
I don't ever want to go back.
It was a shot a kid in the face.
I couldn't handle it anymore. Order or no order, to have to dirty my hands researching that thing was too much.
What
That
is
thing.
that?
It took so many lives.
More
During the
questions.
Civil War, so many innocent died because of it. I could spend my whole life trying and still never atone for the things I've done. But I had to do something, so I came here to be a doctor to save lives instead of taking them.
Will you gonna elaborate a little bit on what you made?
Was it you were ordered to do research on?
Interesting that Armstrong doesn't know.
The Philosopher's Stone.
Oh. And is it like crystallized,
The
maybe?
Sage's Stone, the Grand Elixir, the Celestial Stone, the Red Tincture, the Fifth Element. Just as the Philosopher's Stone is called by many names, so it can take on many forms. It is
Oh,
not
interesting.
necessarily a stone. This is an incomplete product, however. There's no way to know when it will reach its limit and become unusable.
It's just like the stone that false priest had in Lior. It was
Right.
incomplete, but it still amplified.
Some
its
people
powers
had mentioned
considerably.
that what
Imitation
like
stones
Cornello
this
had
powerful
was
can be
a
produced. Who's to say
incomplete
complete
stone,
product
so
can't be created?
that's why it shattered.
Please, Dr. Marcoh, I need access to
It was
your
an
research
imperfect stone.
materials.
A perfect philosopher's stone would never
Who
break.
exactly is this boy?
This boy is a state alchemist, doctor.
What? But he's only a child. after the war, there were many
At least he didn't make fun of his height.
who turned in their certifications because they refused to serve as human weapons anymore. And now a child.
You think I don't know what I've signed up for? I know what I'm doing, but I don't have any choice. If this is a mistake, then it's a mistake I have to make. There is no other way.
Yeah. Once again, Ed's here, like, just demonstrating his incredible resolve. He continually manages to impress and shock everybody that he meets. I think it just goes to show that even if you're driven by, like, a somewhat selfish reason, I mean, I'm not saying that Ed's is, like, super selfish. He wants it for his own benefit and for his own brother's benefit. And I don't think that's something that people have a hard time recognizing. Especially for someone of his age, it's so incredibly hard to have that single point resolve. And I'll mention this doctor, little side note, already where he's going with this conversation, when he says, like, he can't take his creation and how much death and destruction it causes. And I don't know if it's intentional, but it makes me think of Robert Oppenheimer, who was the creator of the atomic bomb. He often talked about how, though he was proud of his work initially, he ended up becoming traumatized. There was this whole famous quote about, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." And I'm curious if this character is going to go into something similar like that. Also, you'd think that with Scar hunting them down, they would go back to WInry to get his arm fixed up first before they did any external traveling, like to visit this guy. I guess they're just confident that if Scar or anybody else attacks, Armstrong can take him, but I don't know if I would put that on the line. Let's hear what they have to say.
But I can't show you my research.
Why not?
You must not seek after the stone.
Not even if it's to get our bodies back?
Never. This is the devil's research. If you chase the stone, you will go through hell.
I've already been through hell!
You can always go through more hell. Hell is not a limiting cap. It can always get worse. I know he's desperate, but, you know. Just because you stuck your hand in fire once doesn't mean you can't get burned if you do it again, you know.
I've already been through hell!
I think this guy understands that. Like, this doctor seems to have a good heart. Like, he knows what he's doing.
We gained plenty just by finding out that the philosopher's stone can be made. Now we'll just have to look
Right.
for some other way to do it.
I mean, if anything, it just furthers his
What
goals.
about you, Major?
The more info you have on it, the
About
more
not reporting
possibilities
back to
open up.
Central on Dr. Marcoh's location.
I met a simple small-town doctor today. I can't see any real reason to report that.
Wait.
What a good guy. Oh, he came back.
Dr. Marcoh?
This is where my materials are. If you're certain you won't regret learning the truth in the end, start looking here.
As I'm sitting here and editing this and watching this scene for the second time around, it's really starting to hit me what a great thing Dr. Marcoh did here was. I think in a lot of weird ways, Dr. Marcoh sort of symbolizes a future potential version of Ed, because I think the Doctor sees himself in Ed in a lot of ways as somebody that was once incredibly driven by his own research of science and of the Philosopher's Stone in particular. But I think the real difference here is that Dr. Marcoh has experienced the repercussions and the backlash of the research he's done. And I really get the vibe that he's trying to protect Ed from experiencing the same awful things. But like I mentioned in the discussion before, Ed has this unwavering resolve to him, and it always really speaks to the people he encounters, and of course the Doctor was no different in this way. And I think a big reason why he probably spoke to Marcoh so much was because Marcoh saw himself in Ed. And if that is true, then the Doctor knows firsthand that Ed will go to the ends of the world to get what he wants. And for that reason, there's no real point in the Doctor acting as a roadblock for him. If anything, I think Marcoh shows a great deal of respect towards Ed for being able to hand over the information to him, even if he does truly believe it will lead Ed to dark places along the way.
Look closely. Maybe you'll find the truth hidden within the truth. But I've said too much already.
He's already met truth, though.
I hope the day will come when you are
Which
able
I
to restore
still
your
have so many
bodies.
questions about that. I kind of want to go back and watch episode 2 again, that whole truth sequence, the whole God sequence. I feel like there was so much layered in there that I couldn't pick it all up
Central
on the first
Library,
watch.
First branch.
I get it.
Let me know if you think I should do that. Oh no, is something gonna happen to him now? Oh, who's here?
I've been looking for
Oh
you,
no.
Marcoh.
Man, I like this guy. Don't hurt him. Don't.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Man, he just showed up.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
But I guess he's played his purpose in giving Ed what he needed, so his plot armor it's gone.
This is Major Alex Louise Armstrong.
I'm Pinocchio Rockbell.
Dude.
I know I haven't seen you
Dude,
for a
she
while,
doesn't even
Ed,
go up to his
but
waist.
you've gone and grown smaller.
Granny, you've got it wrong. You're supposed to say how big you've grown lately, Ed.
But why would I say something so clearly untrue?
I'm still taller than you mini hag!
Edward, I thought I told you to call first when you're heading back here for maintenance.
WInry, are you trying to kill me?
Well, WInry got way bigger than
Welcome back.
Ed. Wow.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little smashed up.
A little smashed up, a little. Ed, do you see what you've done to my beautiful creation? I slaved over this.
It's
Can't you, like,
basically the same, it's just a
transmute
smaller
it back
version.
together with the materials? It's just in a
Don't tell
different
me.
form,
You a
right?
little smashed up too, Al? What kind of trouble have you two been getting yourselves into?
Oh, we almost got assassinated, you know.
Then I'll work my butt off for you. But you better believe you're gonna pay a fortune
That's-
in rush order fees.
WInry's kind of bae. I'm gonna relax. I don't know how old she is. It's weird. I don't mean it like that. She's just nice, okay?
The wood you requested.
Is that
Thank you.
necessary, Armstrong? Just
I haven't seen Edward anywhere around the house in a while.
he's so flamboyant. I love it.
He said he was going off to visit his mother's grave.
Dude, these dogs, man. I can't look at a dog the same in the show now.
What kind of lives?
I
are the
thought it would be
boys
okay,
leading
but-
these days? I'm a friend of the family, you see. The boy's father is an
Oh.
old drinking pal of mine.
Interesting.
One day, he up and left the village.
They're not
abandoned
biologically
his
related.
wife and
I didn't
son.
realize that.
I don't even know whether he's alive now or not.
I wonder if that's gonna come back into play. I bet it will. See who their father actually is.
The boys don't have anywhere else to stay but here. Adding one more guest won't be any inconvenience to us.
What about the house they grew up in?
They don't want to go back there, I don't think.
It's gone now.
Oh.
The brothers don't have any home to return to. The day they left, after Ed had gotten his state certification, they burned down their own house. My guess is they did it because with no house to come home to, there could be no turning back.
Hmm. That's sad. But I understand why they did it.
I'm back.
Oh, Edward Elric!
Thank you.
To try and bring your mother back to life.
The subtitles for yeah.
Sacrifice to give up your arm in order to transmute your brother's disembodied soul.
I love Armstrong.
Determination to burn down your own house to make sure there was no retreat. Come, Edward. Allow me to hope you.
No, stop. Okay, now you made it weird. You know, I love him, and then he makes it weird. He's like All Might mixed with like Puri Puri Prisoner. It's killing me right now.
It's just so lovely. The smell of oil, the hum of the ball bearings, the rugged yet amazingly beautiful form created.
They're so lucky to have WInry. Can we just say that? They are so lucky to have WInry.
Crazy gearhead.
You're lost without me, alchemy freak.
Seriously, what like everything would fall apart without her. Like who else is gonna make this for him?
Yeah, it feels good.
I increased the percentage of chrome this time, so it should be less prone to rusting. The trade-off is that it's not quite as strong, so don't try anything crazy. Hey, listen up!
This might be like a weird hot take to say, but so far in the show, there's a lot of great things going for Fullmetal Alchemist. But one of the strongest things, if not the strongest thing for me right now, is the supporting cast. You have people like Armstrong, Roy Mustang, WInry, and even though we haven't seen so much of Roy yet, these supporting characters have been like fantastic. I'd argue that they're so good, I've been enjoying them just as much as I enjoy Ed and Al. Each of them has played such a important structural fundamental role in Ed and Al's life so far. Granny is playing a strong parental figure. Roy Mustang is playing a sort of leadership role, or maybe even a somewhat of a bit of a father figure that they seem to have never really had. And then you have WInry, who literally allows Ed and Al to pursue the dreams. I mean, not only is she a fantastic friend and emotional support and all of this to them, she's literally the reason Ed is not a cripple right now. And so far to me, it doesn't really seem like Edward in particular truly appreciates the people around him. So I'm interested to see if he grows in that sort of way. The way this whole story so far is structured and set up, it really does feel like I imagine this becoming a coming of age story in some ways. Because right now, Ed is a young, passionate, very driven, narrowly focused individual. He is somebody that has his one goal in mind, and he's pretty much stopping at nothing to get there. But as I can well imagine along the way, things are not going to work out the way he wants. Things are going to be changing all around him. And at some point, I think that he's going to realize there's more to life than just him and Al's well-being. He'll realize that there are other people he really cares about. And I'm really looking forward to his character shift in that direction, how he reacts to other people, how he treats other people, and how he receives and takes in what they say. Hopefully he loses a little bit of the brashness and the stubbornness he has.
Major, you see that seal on the inside of his back? That's the medium between
I don't know
Al's
if,
soul and
like,
the armor.
if that gets erased, if it, like, you know,
To ruin it.
rains or something, does Al just disappear, you know?
There you go. You're good as new.
Hopefully not. That would be
You ready
really
to try
a
it out?
disaster.
Yeah.
What happened to Marcoh? Is he
Quiet
good?
around here.
Well, brother?
Yep, it's time to head to Central and find Dr. Marco's documents. We leave
Yeah.
first thing tomorrow morning.
I don't know about that. Well, hopefully Marco's still alive. Nobody that's met that woman has survived so far.
Do with him.
It's like you're the older one, huh, Al?
Yeah.
Can be a handful.
Al really does take on almost,
How old are the two of you,
you know,
boys now?
he does seem like the older one of the group.
And brother's 15.
They are only a year apart, though.
To think someone as young and as small as he is could be used as a human weapon. It's almost funny. Especially watching
I got the
him
impression that WInry was about the same age as Ed, but maybe not.
both of you. What's this?
She didn't look it.
Why so formal?
Granny, Winry, I'm so grateful to you for always welcoming us like we're really family.
Al is such a sweetheart, man.
I know brother feels the same way.
What 14-year-old has this sort of
Hey, dear, we
respect
know
for
he
others?
feels
Like,
that way too.
I don't ever
Doesn't
see that.
have to say it.
I definitely wasn't like that when I was that age.
Winry, thank you.
I feel you, Armstrong. I feel you. I feel the same way every time Al
You again
talks.
for
I'm just
everything, Granny.
protect him, please.
Hey, where's Winry?
Resting. She stayed up 3 nights in a row. Want me to wake her?
That's okay. She'd just nag me. Make sure to do your maintenance or whatever.
Ed. Come
Hold
on,
a
man.
second, boys. You should come back once in a while and have dinner with us.
I hope
You want us to come all this
Granny's
way to
okay throughout the
mountains just for
series.
some dinner?
Edward.
Seriously.
Alphonse. Come back soon, Kay.
he's just so angsty. But at least he can grit his teeth through it a little bit. It's also just now dawning on me that rather than Ed being unappreciative, this could very well just be romantic tension between him and Winry. It's definitely too early to say whether or not Ed cares for her in that sort of way, but having another look at this, I definitely realize that could be a possibility. He's just trying to play it off and act cool. He's not a full Bakugo. Alright, our first after credit scene.
I just about slept
Please,
through
nothing
an
bad.
entire day.
Nothing
Never had to
outright
resort
bad
to
has happened
a
this
tornado
episode.
hit this place. Huh?
Oh, she forgot something?
Whoopsie.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright, well that wasn't so bad as far as bad news can go. If only this took place in the modern year, she could just call him up, have him come back. Well, I guess it could have been worse, right? I mean, eventually that's going to lead to Ed being in a lot of trouble during a fight. But for now, that was a pretty lighthearted episode. Ed and Al are just such like a good duo, right? Like you have Edward who has incredible drive, incredible strength, incredible prowess and talent. And then you have Alphonse who, despite not even having a physical body, despite having like just about every reason to be the sad, depressed kid, especially at his age, mind you, he's just so warm and positive towards other people. And I think that really shows like intelligence. I think it's such a rare sight, especially in younger people, to find somebody that can truly like show their gratitude and their appreciation towards others in such a wholesome, genuine way. But despite all that Al's lost, and you know he still feels bad about it. You had in the previous episode Al talking about how he wants nothing more than to get his body back. But he's able to repress that and still show gratitude towards people like Winry and Granny. And that sort of thing has always stuck out to me. There's no doubt about it that Edward is a prodigy in a lot of ways, especially in alchemy. But the more I watch this, the more I realize that Alphonse is definitely not somebody to be overshadowed. He definitely didn't get anything less than Ed has. The more I watch this, the more I realize that despite the hell that Edward has gone through, despite all the bad hands he's been dealt, he's incredibly fortunate for the people that are around him in his life. And like I said, I think because of his situation and because of his age, he doesn't necessarily fully realize how fortunate he is of the people around him yet, but I imagine he'll come to it, especially with the quality of the people around him. And I'm really looking forward to that. I don't exactly know where the next episode is going to be going, besides they're going to go back for the doctor. Hopefully he's still alive, Dr. Marcoh. Got a little bit more information on the Philosopher's Stone, which is interesting, such that it can come in a liquid. It doesn't necessarily have to be a solid form. And he did bring up how there are imperfect ones, and yet there is a perfect one out there. I have a feeling the Philosopher's Stone is going to be this sort of overarching plot throughout the whole series, so I don't expect to get too much advancement with that too quickly. But yeah, good episode. Remember, if you guys want to see the next episodes, they're over on my Patreon right now, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Later.